I do it again, actually. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this evening's meeting of Stanley Town Council, which being, as you can see, recorded and will be available on whatever you hopefully have it on for the next 6 months. Have we any apologies for absence?
Yes, we've got Carol Hampson, Constance Christy Bell, Helen Clark, and Katie Wilson.
Are there any declarations of interest on any item on tonight's screen?
Obviously, for a long interest on the market. And of course,
right. Do you want to record that you have not purely question as county councillors? Yeah. Thank you. And the next one's good. I'd like to welcome Stacey Dobson, who's going to give us a presentation on with reference to the board school project. Thank you. Before we get into the computer, I'm going to put it on through all the way. We move. It's all right, I'll just hold this one back.
everyone's all right, Rush? So I'll stand here. Hi, I'm Stacey Dobson. I will call the host in the investment team. Thanks very much for letting me come and talk here tonight about Carbon's quite new project around Bay Shaven and which means connected to the purchase of the board school on Flint Street. Paul with us tonight. Paul is the investment manager, so he's here to talk about it as well. We're going to talk about the question. So yeah, Carbon. First of all, our mission is to provide a strong foundation for life, and that will link to themes around homes, customer, and place. But place is something that we recognise that we should do a little bit more around the 3 pillars of our organisation. But place, we could do a little bit more around place. So the last 2 years, we've done an extensive amount of work to build a strong place vision for the organisation. So how do we want to help in terms of place? So physical people and processes. So try to good and strong place making. People supporting people living in our communities, again, yes, our bread and butter, and processes using local suppliers, outcome-driven work, using local supply chains in terms of investing in our communities. So our Fair Foundations report was published at the beginning of the year. That sort of sets out a bit of our manifesto to how we're going to support our left behind communities. I think is the Fair Foundations report available online on our website. It sets out a high level, an organised high level document. I won't go through it all now because I know we've only got a little bit of time and I'll be here all night. But it's a really good document if you want to have a look at it. It sets out how we are committing to supporting our communities. Yes, everyone deserves a fair chance to realize their potential wherever they live. That again links back to our mantra as an organisation. It's a new approach to evaluating places and interventions based on the concept of the foundational economy. Coalition of active, willing, like-minded partners for the challenges of left behind places. So, in that sort of manifesto, we outline the things that we are committed to doing in communities, as well as things that we are sort of asking our partners in our anchor institution in Stanley to be able to commit to as well. So, for example, in terms of job, employment, no 0-hour contracts. As a business, an organisation, Carbon do not offer any 0-hour contracts. That's something that we're committed to. We're advising Stanley and other businesses to be able to get on board with the things that we're talking about in the Fair Foundations report. I can share all these slides as well at the end, which give them more information, but I'd let you have a look at the screen there. We're not comfortable for everyone, but it is quite in depth. So our carbon impact areas are Stanley and Viker. And we chose those areas because of the fact we have a lot of stock in those areas. In Stanley, we also pick up all the water from the former Durham like homes, and the three companies that came together. So we know how we've got in Stanley. It's probably one of the density populated areas in Stanley, in carbon, as well as Viker. Viker, we have a lot of stock. And we've done some detailed research into those areas as well. So about 8 months to 2 years ago, we did sort of a research into the living Stanley. We worked with academics, we worked with social housing providers and the public, and we asked them about the sort of thoughts and feelings of living in Stanley. I live in Stanley as well, so I know things that came out of that report, I wasn't surprised at. And we, on the back of that, we're developing a shared action plan. So action we're taking in basis residual, or at the end of the day, everything that we're doing in our base projects is to increase people's residual household income. We're looking at how to work with improve employment opportunities. We have our skills upon Stanley Country. And I'll talk a little bit more about one of our employment initiatives that we're doing in Stanley. Homes, decarbonisation, family, and kids. Those 5 themes make up a lot of things that we do in carbon as well. So our employment, a really good thing that we're doing in Stanley at the moment, as well as the business. New Start, a fully funded work placement by Carbon, provides 5 months of work experience up to a maximum of 30 hours per week for Carbon customers, their children, and non-dependent. So hours are flexible in terms of the number of hours, the work patterns. So for example, we've got 17 roles in the 2023 cohort, and 9 of them are in Stanley. Those opportunities, those roles that we need sort of filled, 9 of them are in Stanley, 2 are in Viker. It shows the level of commitment we've got to support people in and out of community. So yeah, these are the things that we talked about there. Some of the things that we're doing now and things that we've done. So just the number of empty homes and garages. Maybe people are familiar with what we've done with our empty garages. And some of the things there around employment in the high street, which we think yeah. So so when we surveyed people 2 years ago, 18 months to 2 years ago, the thing that came out top for many people in the family was the house. The high streets. The fact that there's a lot of empty units, a lot of failed businesses, and in particular, actually, the board school was mentioned as being an ISO. We purchased it at the end of the last financial year, so in March. In terms of size, I have got a figure of the size now, 11,000 square feet. I mean, I can't picture all that, how big that is going to be, but it's a lot of space. So when we asked residents asked the community about what they thought about living in Stanley, obviously the high street, that building was there. So hopefully this is the first step in the sort of showing Carbon's commitment in improving the community, improving the high streets. But we're not going to do it alone. Collaborative working is going to be a huge project. Collaborative working with Carbon, the project team working on it at the moment. We're putting in different skills, myself, Paul, development, management, project management. So we've got huge project team working on it at the moment. But as well as yourselves, like stakeholders, we're doing a lot of stakeholder mapping at the moment. People like town council, local businesses as well that we need to speak to in terms of getting their feedback, their thoughts, about how they feel that the purchase that property. I love the fact we bought it. It's amazing. It's goals. It's out there, and I think Carbon had the whole way to come with us. So it's a really exciting project for Carbon to be part of. And those are just some examples on there about similar projects that have happened in our local, actually, no problems in local roads, in terms of developing existing, existing buildings or something community led or probably the closest one at home in directly is happening in Chester Street. That's a model that based on around food. So we're exploring, we're working with an organisation, we're exploring options, how we're going to develop that site. And got that good for stakeholders, got that good for carbon and the community. So we're working at the moment on developing options with a plan of what we're going to do with that building. But yeah, it's going to be worked. So Victoria Keane is our big piece. She couldn't be getting nice, so for yeah, said. Yeah, Victoria Keane is our appreciate lead. I don't think there was on there, but I'm happy to answer any questions. If anyone's got any questions, happy to answer. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you for that. I'll just, anyone got any questions? I've got lots of questions, but I'm not going to ask you tonight. I'll save them for another time. Because most of them aren't about that. Anyone got anything specific you want to know about it? Questions?
Wanted to know your panels, you've done a lot of consultations. Is there any sort of clear favourite, for want of a better word, in regards to what you might use going forward?
At the minute, our project team is, I wanted to have got anything looking clear. Like I said in the presentation, it's got to stack up financially for carbon, for the community and the stakeholders. And it's got to wash its own face essentially. We need some sort of sustainable model for that building. But we're looking at lots of different options for them.
Yeah, with that stage of it, I know I'm going with that high level option to pay, but the money is actually we've got through and as well different options it could be. I think given the size of the building, speaking like personally, I think it's highly improbable that we one option. I don't think we're not talking about on housing like the percentage, which is a sort of stage alluding to. It's going to be a huge financial burden to get to whatever. So it's whatever solution you put in place, we try and think about that, but also we just call the project. And I think I did when we put the sale, we need to take use, but I think it's that practical balance as well.
Do you think there also is some evidential thinking, or
It's in quite a good option. Like I genuinely could find that. That's it, we'll explore it. It's not being bought within my 10 months.
yes?
So, my opinion, quite few healthcare straight inside the town how what history should be about together whatever the decision is and get at least to build it. I think it's quite a lot. For example, and you see the town hall got a lot of the blue or try to get business on board. So ourselves we do that. Also, the other carbon carriers building at the end of the screen, or this building or whatever it is. I would love to sit down with yourselves and do whatever decide actually to see how we present shop because really positive kind of approach to it. So regardless of whatever it's going to be, we want to make that appealing to further field to the people's family. So I would say kids in the future and what we like very certain members this else will support that and we can try to improve the area. Quite
as go through that process. But I think any rather than being actually then happening, these all numbers and costs and averages, I think it's to where we are in one direction, stay and have to say take on board anything with any sort of ideas around improvement and whatever solution to come up with, make sure it's quite trying.
You know, just think there's certain costs, points that have to happen, regardless of what everything's going. They were doing understand and quite doors way.
I think stakeholder mapping and conversations are happening with a lot of different stakeholders. But in the future, that's going to take place until the autumn, in the stakeholder mapping. And then the following months, there's going to be sort of condensed stakeholder group that's going to be involved in working more closely with people like other project progression. And I have also told Victoria after our meetings about how confident would be feel are going to be key to the success of the project meeting and getting those thoughts and feelings on that.
Yeah, I mean, well, regarding the liability of the 30 hours, it's in there that will be carbon homes clients. Is that specifically for residents in carbon homes or the? Yeah.
Carbon got commitments to support people living in our properties. Yeah, all of our recruitment initiatives recently have been. I don't know if you've seen like all of our recruitment, our apprenticeships are all sort of targeted to benefit people living in our properties. We also recognise that it's part of the commitment that we have to maintain our residents. We recognise that people need the opportunity, and we're supporting our own, and we're giving our own opportunities for those roles. Yeah.
We've absolutely used that bench.
Yeah.
It's why the support or the skills of that which
Yeah.
goes in.
So do you know what percentage or how many carbon homes there is in actually this town area?
How many properties?
Yeah, how many properties?
Approximately about
3,000.
yeah.
It was, Joneside Homes had something like 2,600 lots.
Yeah.
Existence since then.
Those size. So probably about 10 or 8,000, about 3, and a bit of them were standing. So so that's why I was saying earlier, we've concentrated our efforts in place on the screen.
All the time we've got problems in across the board on this it's the largest stores. Things say we've got problems with the castle, but that's where we've got the biggest concentration. So that's why it's sort of the queue and places. Where's that piece of work like this?
Yeah. Well, anyone else? Are you? Yes, Lee?
Back to law school. The places you picked out on the slideshow, is there the reason why they chose those places? Have you been involved with any of them? Or?
We haven't been involved in, refuse, we do a lot of work with refuse, and our colleague who works in the Chesterfield area, he works a lot with refuse and supports them. The reason that we chose them were probably because they were former grand buildings, maybe. Like there's the former cinemas and so buildings that have probably kept the facade and maybe developed the internal. And I mean I can put the slide together. And as well, and then probably a lot of them are community-led projects as well.
The reason I ask is I was in the Stockton Shadow 2 weekends ago. I was part of the weekend festival that was organised in there. One of my friends has a lot to do with the community.
Right, yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Totally nailed what they need to use it for. So a nice little cafe in, community car, lots of other bits and pieces. Obviously, it's got a cinema in there. But something like that is ideal for what we need on the street. I mean, yes, we've got community centres as such, but nothing like what they've got over there. It was absolutely rampant. I was gobsmacked at
It's quite proud of the project teams where Victoria reads it's moving in there apart from I think she's done a site visit to that. I wouldn't put the one that we've done very like information to where
That's a really good place. Just have a look down, see what they do, but I have all sorts on. I mean, it's basically like very much what we do with this place. You can dress and things like that. Obviously, they have the space that they I don't know what the situation is with Portugal and the big instance. So it's golden as well. But I know they had big hall space and everything, but I should imagine half the floors are missing now. But Events wise, perfect little place. But like I said, I don't know, that I've got these down there, obviously there's having a bottomless pit of money perspective.
That's a challenge, isn't it? So I see some really serious, we'd love to get to there, how we can do the home development model with it, so then part of finances, part of the people side things and chills or like themselves was. If we build it like that, everything do well, and would be anything with us.
Okay. Anyone else do you vote?
No one's going to be, but one of the options that. Isn't it plan and pull it down and see if we can get. There's an option to create them, that we can have in terms of. When we purchase any property or acquire any property, we need to do an option to create one. Yeah, that could be an option, demolition and start again. And that Victoria told us today that that, because obviously I spoke to Victoria today and like before the meeting, I said, oh, obviously that. She said, yeah, that is that is an option we will be looking at. And she did not want to do that. We don't want to do that as a business. We want to keep something as, I mean, it's symbolic, people who live in Stanley, it means something, people who live in Stanley, but we also need to explore, it does mean something in Stanley, I mean, that is an option, and, we need to discuss that with obviously the community as well. But yeah,
We've got all options.
yeah. So one of the, it's not, it's more of an observation of, obviously we have a social behaviour and the issues from time to time. It's been nice to say that since carbon border, been as methods to try and secure the building. So that's more of a commentary because it is going to help.
Well, to secure as best we can in a minute, and work forward the conditions split there. So we're looking to get something that is a bit easier on the eye than the metal shutters as well, but we're conscious of how much the smash up the previous ones as well. So we're looking at a bit more of a robust solution. And to be honest, that looks attractive, but is also potentially as strong as the steel shutters. And it's conscious of the business. Because again, you don't want to spend money doing on things, or just bring it up the line. So it's a fine balance. We try to secure it, but conscious we don't want to leave the house on it.
Suppose it's going to be like that for a while. Yeah, I just thought it was good because there's been a few practice meetings and it's come up, and it hasn't been referenced by the fact that people are start to shore it up a little bit to try and stop it. Yeah, that's how we priority security.
We've been really concerned about the residents on the issue, the issue call. I think when we get first affected by it, and we're about to basically right out to all the residents trying to figure out where we are with it. Again, it's a little bit of a holding statement that we're trying to secure it, but I think we're really conscious we want to let people know that we are aware of it and we can't fix it ourselves, but what we are trying to secure as best we can.
Just to really clear, not to you, that's on the stakeholder. How do you consult with the public get involved when you silent and consult with our consultation?
So we haven't done any official comms to tell people that we've purchased the property. We find the right time in terms of that social behaviour being in the peak of that. We're finding the right time to be able to sort of do an official comms, and I think the work that we're doing with the board is going to link in nicely to sort of announce that we're the owners. In terms of consultation with the public, once we have a set amount of options, what our employees agent, like obviously the options that came through today, in terms of the end use, they'll be going to our, from what I can gather, we'll be able to go to our executive team who will sort of whittle it down to some options that we can run with as a project team, and then that will be the stage where the community will be consulted.
The reason why I asked that, get to that stage, we can tell us well from thinking that to get to the target. We have to set a lot of priorities ourselves, and I'm very aware that there's a lot of organisations like that. You can tell house itself, Durham House, we're all good at it. We're all kind of doing it alongside one another when we can actually marry up a lot of this together. To actually get the feedback of it together and utilise each other's information. So obviously you go to us as a stakeholder. I would say we come back to you as a stakeholder in our but we give us information about what we find out. I think it's a really good way of finding out this information.
Fully agree.
Absolutely, I think we consciously don't want to say. But no, about the middle side, but once the feasibility side, we will definitely consult kind of the sort of thing. We can go our local plan that we want to take it back. Because you're in, and make sure we just
Everyone, right. Thanks very much for coming. That was very much. And it's give me a chance to ask some questions. And all I can say is good luck with project. Because we know what that looks like inside.
Yeah, I would like to see what it's like, but
I haven't been in for several years, and let's put it this way, it wasn't too grand then. So, you know, it's had a lot of incidents.
I think so far, all of this concept, that's the limit. So.
Yeah.
thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you. I'll let you get on.
Sure. Ah, well, could move on with the move on with the agenda and just mayor's announcements. I'll get all of it.
Thank you so much for your time, though.
Yeah, I
Thank
think
you.
Leader statements, are we anything?
I think anything's possible, not like it's only in the sense that it's going.
Okay. So can we have the confirmation of minutes of the last meeting? On the for the 27th of June 2020. James?
Yeah. Thank you. Just wanted. Also, yes. Yeah, well, it should be absent, the only anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just
Okay.
for that be correct.
Yes, well, the apologies were attended. Right, can we have someone to approve? Yeah, do we approve the minutes? Anyone else got anything to do? Any item on it? Yeah, that's excellent. Thank you. Accounts for payments and bank reconciliation. These are to approve the accounts and no bank reconciliation for June, which is the June.
I just wanted to mention a couple of payments from June's scheduled payment. A lot of members may have noticed that the payments for payment was cancelled in the last financial year. We have two outstanding invoices for February, March, which are just here now in June, whether or not being sitting with the previous clerk, I don't know where. We didn't have them until June, so that's why they're the payment this month.
That's practically I have been chasing.
And then what is the half
It's happening to you.
to me?
So with that adjustment, are we happy to approve them? Yes?
Yeah, just wanted to possibly move
And
forward.
good thing. I was out of question. Thank you. Quarter one monitor. This is. Right. This is just for information. This is for the and we go to speak with it.
The quarter one monitoring report is a projection against what we think the end might be. Financial year. Obviously, in quarter one, haven't got a lot of data in there yet. And there's, with everything, a lot of things change within the year. There's a number of things that will impact on that figure. The decision from them every time, so once we have a decision from them, the impact on the projected figure either way. We don't get a lot of bill from them. bring everything reserves, and so do that on page. So, use. Just do a little bit of. So there's new day, yellow, and we give an update on the reserves. And just to let you know what we've obviously worked on board in relation to the cost. Management allowed movements, new transfers, and the savings as a result of movement to Singapore. Actual redundancies, new income streams will and obviously the new structure and sales identified items that we can use. All that will impact on the position, and I think we'll be in a better position to more.
Can we, your session? You very good. Oh. LCT RS class. Wonderful document. You want me to go for it? You can if you like, it's
So I think, yeah, I think most people are aware that President Council was to reduce the grant by 3%. It's 2 years. So the grant to Stanley Town Council is currently worth 111,057 current financial year. So if that proposal goes ahead, we'll see a reduction of 27,887. Now that's equivalent to putting out pre-sets up by 2.67%, which would maintain a standstill position. So that was just to so you've got what that actually means to us. And Diane and Alex and myself attended the larger council forum last week. And the overall view there was that consultation period just gone out of consultation and finally will be until November, which gives very little time the budget setting. So we'll probably look at setting out the worst case scenario. And we also very vocal on the double taxation because that kind of on forward while we were still getting the grant. See now that kind of we're pressing ahead with it. In fear that we'll remove the grant completely, but now that it's proposals come out, it's likely that that's going to be brought back to the top.
It was valuable, wasn't it? Between the Joint County Council officer and Wilfred's Town and Parish Class. And you know, to the analogy of double taxation, which is what did you marry up between the two factors? So I think that's another thing that's actually going to be addressed. I agree with the fact that tax something that's in our area, the county tax and that's outside. So yeah, so it's definitely something that's going to be addressed. Yeah.
So if anybody's got any comments or feedback, because we can take our proposal, also we will be feedback into the forum for their response.
Yes, I think I read through texts. I've got the gist of it. I did get them. No. Do you want comments? I can say some comments towards everything. All right. Events update in Northumberland Review. James, will you go for it?
Yeah.
Mrs. Hall, yeah. Sorry? Not here, just that door. Today, yeah. The 10 billion. And 10 pages of it. So last night I spent on a part of the work that I said of James I did. See them, in relation to where the council is, how you want to. As you know, we gave notice in January, which means that we're at the end of the financial period, and finished in December. In my report, I just put a bit of background information there of the meeting where councillors affected body count agreed that we would impart the actually move out into the call due to the increase in cost of maintenance and the fact that it's not consistent. We did feel like a little bit today. It was a bit chilly in that office, but it's over in July. Okay, so the first page pictures dates and project I didn't show that last night. So the rationale around moving is obviously the council understand that, you know, the health and safety implications, particularly in winter, and that's where everybody always the heating system, it's not functioning at all, and that was going to come in £167,000. And that was just for the one boiler at first, and was thinking about both boilers, you know, that means that it's going to double. We were advised that it couldn't be repaired, it had to be replaced in its entirety. To replace the new system would really be out of the scope of the council's financial capabilities. And then it was decision by this council in January that we did much to this kind of council. So the next step is capital members started to look new premises in this create may come along. And then specifications were a little bit somewhat fluid, but primarily looked at the functionality, ability, the environment, transportation to pick up intense and which we should believe. We did look at various amounts of, well, there were some identified and we did actually look at them, and it was shortlisted to 33 ounces, go for the room. Campaign lead with the centre, the venue, packet, the cause. And then we did make 2 films because of the accessibility and software the used did not reach up to an adequate standard that we would expect and work first. So we, as a management team, went out and looked at to buildings. So if you've had time to read the report, you'll see that I've put in as much information as I could with regard to the 4 venues. The greenhouse, you see the pictures there, it shows that the large office and that can house, I think about people that live in that. And you see where the green wall is, there's the office where the parking is situated, and then there's a little meeting room, so it's like a breakout, and it's got that privacy for meeting. At the moment, we don't have that, we have to come up here to have a private talks and meetings, so it'll just be a lot more protection. On top of that, the space is quite a decent size, 90 square metres inside. On entrance, so speaking last time was in the central entrance you can come to. Door entrance. So it's around and Jamie team need to be in for whatever the reason that we like to that just gives you a little bit there in the green lights about what they feel greenhouse brings to the working environment and the fact that it's provide necessarily opportunities to lower the carbon emissions as well. I know that one of your priorities is to be a to support the low carbon entities within the community, and that really is important to take on board. Excellent space staff, which the surroundings are made and you do greenhouse there, but it does fall actually so easily surroundings and what I feel is important for us to continue to be conducive and for them to be happy is that we have really good church. And I'm taking staff up to the greenhouse. They felt that they just had a bit of a relief there. But they've been living in this building, which has got flies and more out the walls and whatnot. It really isn't conducive. It's not healthy. Yeah, it's not good as you all know. I know some of the things that would be probably concerning as councillors. It's not nearer to the
privacy residents to recall. However, what we felt as a team, what would be good, is that we could utilise the current ability to have your meetings, your council meetings, and that would mean that each floor was once a month. And you may want to have surgery because you need to be public. And it's all about through that community engagement and actually being able to listen to the residents, to the residents. And then we can actually also infuse money into those community groups as well by things that came to the rental of the rooms. So it's a pretty win-win situation for everybody in that respect. So within the room, the building also has a big room that was retired, but I think we could do that only if we need to have kind of more working room meetings or community room in the office. We just said about going out to the community, so I don't think we'll need to use that cost until that. So if we were to, if you discount 50%, we recommend the case. It then also provides meals, living collection, parking, 20, 30, flexible lead time. This is important because we felt that, it can be a big move in the city hall. Would that place be the ideal place for us to move to? So we've negotiated 6 months term clause within the lease if that's the way to go. And if everything works out correctly, and if everyone's happy with it, then we want to 3 years lease. It's a manufactured, it's a period. It has got station virtual breakout areas such as a cafe, and it's got virtual office facilities as well. So the same we are on a meeting, it's got all objectives. Cost of that is 1,225. That includes all the utilities. We also we'll be getting new fitted, and the cleaning service for those who cost £10 in 30 minutes. And bear in mind that the office is pretty new. We've got the blue carpet bed that goes with the direct cleaning. And I should put it in now. So just to give an analysis, the cost of being this town hall, quicker words and admin town hall, typical £1,400 a month, and so that's just the stuff, and that's just in that one. So either that was in. So we would ultimately be saving £1,300 a month by not having to employ somebody to clean the better. So if you were to add the broadband, that would be 12 months. We've actually got our team sitting on working and what our requirements would be to do that. So the total is 28. And then just to give you an idea of how much it costs for the college to do, we've got 160 house per annum. That is a huge statement for huge, and it's actually going to bring a lot more accessibility, more well-being, greater and more social well. And professionals, well, you want to look at the council for the business centre, this offers the fourth floor. However, we meeting a further meeting being advised that it's not an option. We don't meet their criteria and what they want to provide in that building, which is start up with business. Unfortunately, that's not a possibility. The venue, this building provided a one office space that would require modification, it needed new windows, throughout the properties. It would need some new painting, some refurbishing. The lighting wasn't particularly good. It wasn't bad. Just really didn't kind of give that nice light area. There was no private space for the clerk needed to take calls privately. There was a meeting room that could be used for active meetings, and that could be booked in advance. It was a busy building, and there's a lot of groups going now. There's a lot of football going through. No cost was provided to us, so we were unable to give a comparative on the cost. But the positive side is the venue is very close to the town centre. Craighead Village Hall, anticipated to put the building calls to decency generation scheme. I inspected was office space. I really don't think it was a nice place. I would not like to use that because it was pre-blocks. There was no light coming in, very little light coming in. Just wasn't very big, the room, and you know, it didn't compare with the other sectors out there. But there's no breakout rooms. There was only one person, a conversation within their reception of it, which again, really would need more confidentiality. Would be ideal. Well, that said, it's a nice building. It's got a large hall, like done council meetings, and it's got all sorts of flexibility and possibility to do that and inspiring and intuitive. So after viewing all we staff team, we felt that the staff would be happier with the greenhouse. And for all the reasons that's been mentioned earlier in this report, we know the current STC on nations, parts of the limited, sees accessible with side entrance and everything else was said. The rent is higher, but in the same way, going to make funds actually is living here. The roommates living saying that so rent really shouldn't be a main factor in this decision. I won't need it all out with the big one thing, but one of the main things is how the council open their more surgeries and meetings in the community sector, which I think would be really beneficial. We did ask the staff to just do a little analogy of like the phone call that we receive and the football that was being civic ball, and it's negligible. It really is. And the phone calls that we receive are just really researching the guidelines and what's going to happen. It was about time for the retail government council all of this that providers within the town. So petition, council of the year, council Jacobson, self authority to proceed, to look at the most of the premises, we the obviously the petition, and they will be happy with that, we will be moved to the cost. And we are able to move this in August. Some of our staff have got holidays, and once the holidays are finished, we will be decanting out. With that said, we won't be able to take everything with us. We're going to take the basic necessary equipment, and then depending on what DCC did about this building, I've pushed and pushed and pushed to the point where I've actually eaten up all of the directors. We cannot be wait until the end of the year to know where we're going to be with this. So I think the 300 meeting and she has been strongly advised. We need to have information ASAP. We need to do a more how much we need to invest into, keeping this building safe. Hopefully we want to finish it, but you know, with us and how big this got, but we do need that information. So I'll put no pressure on those officers to give us some information back from the hospitals. So you can staff meetings today to go best. And process the actual of that's about me, Sarah. They come.
I have to speak with what you said, it's really important, what you said, it's really that. Otherwise,
We're talking.
Sorry.
No, that's not quite thank you. Yes, those nights. Yeah, we can move on with it because, as you know, our time is precious. I only work 2 days a week. So answering emails about what could be asked tonight would, would be at times. Anyone? Anything?
I just think office will need those very quick.
You think it's too quick?
It is.
So bear in mind that from completion. But we have a duty of care, and you could actually have a team of staff saying, I'm not coming into the building to get in the two roles. Yeah, and that's all down to the but I take it it's, yeah, I mean, I'm doing this from your behalf, so if you feel like going to a thing, then I need to be going. But I've got a duty to make sure that it's taken kept in well while they can buy one. Yes. And say something. What's good? So, keep the public, it sounds wonderful, but you want to, it is very frustrating, it's so bad. Oh, you're waiting to. You know, as a day, you know, the roads aren't clear, and everybody who's got a walk and he doesn't see the whole book. Like where you've got to walk from like it's loudly territory. Oh, that's what exactly. I mean, we understand that it's not ideal location. However, in like particular part, we've looked at the scenarios of how we can engage with the community, and we've looked at how many people come into this building, and it's negligible really. And you know, we don't want to just catch ourselves, but we also need to find a fair that will be functional for us. And we totally take on board what you said, but the staff and I have talked about which will be going on community. You know, the fact is what consider the most on the thing is literally not advantage to support you as a council in that way. So yeah, I don't know what's happening in terms of what I want to think this building. All right, anyone with guests? Not sure.
Yeah. Just very comment on the this point that wasn't super option. Second town. You understand, we understand, to be honest, that we choose half the one wild. But do have a question, really, the all final, the really knows the development, for the time to the in Carter, any form of construct, there is a sort of form over that long. And you have staff, green cloth, people are back on the doors, and
That's a fantastic question. It's something that we talked about with J2. Where are we at now to actually give out communication needs been part of the jungle drums are to be back in. You know, I think needs on to the project can get back to the way that's been brought. So I think from tonight we will put communication out. That will be the it could be obvious anyway, going to begin with that. Arrange. But I do feel very strong answer that we need to get David got the reason. I really do. I understand the daily friend, but it's one of my objectives when I'm taking on you to get out of this building.
yeah,
Quick isn't.
I understand why.
Yeah. Right.
So that's it.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, keep our phone. Yeah, we work on that as well, just trying to set that up because we're on that.
That's causing input.
Their contract, is due to end on the. So they have been sourcing. And you. Kind of a new.
That is, people are getting.
Yeah, we'll put the wall.
When people come here, and with that, they come here.
I think it's now just to reiterate at the end of the day, we haven't got to, it's a shame that it's a good time.
Yes, if it's not, it's probably very soon, so. Also, John, yeah. Oh, okay.
I think it would be good to be,
It's very nice, how it looks like brown. I'm happy with it, put down, it's just doesn't say the council did, select council did, and that's authority to go and have a look, and obviously we've got involved the senior staff in that, and a staff meeting where we involve the rest of the team. And totally really good thing.
would be going to the next one, to some things, and say, council, the board,
Absolutely, yeah. So actually, it's an open building. The actual building itself, you can go in, you can use the cafe, you can use the public areas. Oh, we can arrange that.
It's probably really good, very space. It's not space, but actually, there was a lot of come in and have a sink with us there. And if they need us to go out and move them in their area, we can go out and do that. Now, ultimately, we need to get function in that. We've got to remember, we're fully the future. We're going to be a council that does have to get a lot of content that needs to get their contract right. And we need to use the power of the internet, we need to use the power of advertising, we need the power of doing events out there, and we need to go out and meet with people. When we talk about people banging on the doors here, we don't have people doors here in the town council. We've had events where we booked in and people turn up, in terms of town council business, they didn't come to the door that often at all, if any. So, this is somewhere where we can place ourselves to really start trying to get, figure out what our priorities are as a council, start having a space where we can work on deliver those priorities and really try and make a difference. That would be important, we need to try and remember. Ultimately, we obviously are going to go in there as well. If the town council do want to something further down the line, if they do want to rent somewhere else further down the line, where they, through time, or they sit all the time, we're in position, and these are our priorities now. We want to buy somewhere down the Pine Street, get something under the rate. We can do that. So it's given us that flexibility to do that. But ultimately, the doors here are shut. The shut has been agreed. They're shutting at the end of July. That's to the public.
I think you're right. Have we all chewed that one over enough? Okay, right. The item 11, policies and procedures.
I'm really sorry, Chair, that's my third is because, I wasn't aware at the time when I sent this out, that there was a working group, so I think tonight what I need is to know who's on the working group, or who wants to be on the working group, and when shall we have a meeting?
Right. Okay, are we getting that done?
I went wrong, but when you can't see working with 5 people, and I think it was yeah. So, it's before that we do set some notes.
Can you hear that?
And, let me know anything.
Yeah, we can and said that she wants to be on Tuesday, I want to do anything.
Okay, is that okay? Can we just jump to the, yeah? And send the names.
Yeah, and, okay.
Yes, we'll probably now leave it. Give it me that anyway. I think that might be a bad idea. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Well, while I'm just saying about research, then that's okay. Actually, I'm sure.
Okay. So well, if James is off and spotlighted, it better not be. The best updated note of delivering too.
Militarily,
I know. I'm not. We have. It's just
and just really quick then, this building, dance show, that went well, that was over. That went really well, both last parts of the people to see. The scene on screen well attended, some showtime well attended, I'm happy, no complaints, all the staff said it went really well. Conference UK well attended. Attendance over show night, 9 till 5. We'll check this up in July, gone really, really well. There's theatre, all absolutely fine. Just to make members aware of playing parts that are coming up, Opus Parks on the 5th of August, Greenham Primary, and the 9th of August, Tamford Park, 12th of August, Tamford Play, 19th of August, Craighead, 23rd of August. We've also got the Miners Sunday on the 20th of August, and there's the Louisa Memorial on the 23rd of August. So everyone should be aware of the event coming up. Other than that, you'll probably be aware that we are doing judges come out last Friday, which was obviously a lot of work we do, all the kind of meetings with colleagues, so it's been a big day for us. And we're really well received by the judges. Quite past these actual places to the on trade. I do need these here. Just we just studied sort of portfolio. We did Bob, which the book of blue, which was loads of images and all the stuff we've done over the years. And the gold and that really went past them immediately. We were lucky enough to take the judges on council train ride as the Stanley platform with part of the agreement here. And that was really well received. Not a lot of hard work's gone into all of this, and obviously we'll find out our results in September. But also working with the Blues UK, who now 36 part of the work with us. It's not a good fact that we come and talk about education, how they get involved, what they want to get involved in things for the future. So it's gone really, really well. A lot of stress for all the team, but we finally got there. It's a big part of last year, we were silver gilt best in class, which is a hell of an achievement to start in itself. Let's see what happens. And if we do, we're going to tick a lot of boxes. Hotel and housing. I always say it's not about flowers. We speak to who we get involved with, to be very good, so the other things. Yeah, there we go. Any questions?
Just the one, are these to the judges?
Yeah.
Were they shown to the judges?
We also, sorry, I haven't even spring one today, a spring portfolio with save standard. The reason I do it like this is it uses a good example that the use Blue Awards, whole of the raw business sales. You can like use it to encourage other councils to do it. The book of Blue Bob was typically just something the judges can walk away from the end of the day or something very standard by. And to be honest, I wish people could do that. With all channels of work that we do, people know what's done and what is happening.
Can I make a suggestion that when you've got one of these spare, you put it in the library? It's just into the public domain.
The back book I will do.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
No,
Yeah,
book.
yeah, absolutely.
Great.
That's it, I mean, when you just change it's taken, I've worked with a lot of council that's stable, but you can bring the, and I've never seen this being, no, but it's amazing.
That's great. Then let's scope it. There's fruit, so to speak.
I think the town council.
Well,
Yeah. Let's do Canadian work, let's do so many other things for all of us. I mean, for me, if I can take people around and show them things like craft house, just for women, different schools, community centres, and ultimately when they meet these people, it's not just about flowers we talk about the hard work that happens in the community, what people do to support one another. And for me, that all has to be facilitated, and the town council are doing a really, really good job of facilitating that. And you know, I'm lucky enough to have these councils to do support on this and recognise what start to really recognise the fusion track. I didn't believe they actually recognise what it does, but now you really do see what difference it's making.
yeah,
So,
it does actually when the place looks. And this year I have noticed they've left the flowers in. I've got my fingers crossed. we've left the big arrangements alone on the put through. Yeah, I would have them on white to the lakes. I really would. Sorry.
Yeah, prettiest place is the same place.
Yeah.
People feel like that, which I should be fun. But ultimately, I thought say, for me, it's not worth the time. People that we can talk to and get involved with the communities. You know, when you've got 7 or 8 year olds come to them, they don't know what spade is, then exactly. I think you can. Sorry, my talking.
Yeah. Well, thanks. James, can you just pass on our thanks to all the staff because we don't. So it's good.
Yeah.
That's what you've got. Thank you. Oh dear. I took 30 allotments. And we didn't get that. You know. Okay.
I've had an email just on a case, piece of case coming in relation to how the council failed the way forward with the passes. Well, I don't even think we're at that stage, but it's about passes on the allotment. I expect it. So there are some legal elements to still waiting for information. Yeah, I got to do that. I haven't got any further updates. You know, that's all. That's fine. I'm still meeting with them, but which is great relief. I think this comes under the heading of no news is good news. That one, definitely. Yeah. All right, we're down to item 14. Disposal of assets. Council is requested to consider approving a cash policy to ensure that the back goal fits. That is it, yeah. Anyone seen it? So, right. Right. So, a question I'd like to know why it's having gone through the working group. It basically probably need to get on with the actual cause of the asset. So that's how I brought it tonight, and we will. So I pulled this together just so that it underpins our process that was through the last consultation about cause of asset. And we have a sort of we can that we can move on and be able to relinquish the asset. Thank you, Tanya, and short things to doing that. Yeah. Nice decent. Yeah, right. Okay, so we've all seen it. Any questions? Anyone got yes, John?
Yeah, well, we've got really size. Yeah, we've obviously really have, we need really have all of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And all of it, yeah. From the infantry that school, and you walk them alongside those items, the child is sitting through that. You've done what was said.
Well. Thank you very much.
Yes. You're right. So yeah, and we have a yeah. Positive then. It's not good. Okay. So second, yes, thank you, John. Can we do show hands? Will we have sections? No. Give you credit. Thank you. And I can get happens. Next. Right. Down to and we omitted to put in public participation. So I'm putting public participation in as 15A. So that okay.
We housing, here in Cornwall, the public, this question of the initiative fund, the town council used to carry out some time ago. And maybe you don't know what local initiative funding is set up by the council where every single councillor and the amount of money allocated to them so they can try and utilise that in a good way within their ward and to engage with the members of the public. This was stopped a few years back, and other funds were set up. What ultimately tonight the council need to consider is, if it is something that the members are interested decisions about not to bring it, not to say to bring it back, but to have a discussion around it, because it actually is something that would need to be discussed, and also we need to talk about alongside the budget setting to see if there is availability in the budget to bring that in. So ultimately, we were asked, how to put this on the agenda, it is on the agenda, and is it something that discuss further down the line to see if it's worth bringing back?
James?
All of that is it's a potentially a great idea to be bringing a basket again. Whether it's operating the same way they used to, that's something you have to discuss further down the line. But at the moment, also with this year's budget already set, not something we can bring in sort of now. It would need to be looked at the next, I would say, a discussion around that budget.
Right, you, yes, David?
Yeah, I would receive you, as such a surplus for what we did at the end of the year, we've now got 772,687.
Well,
First, so the surplus is, a lot of that is already earmarked. And using, price for the new central heating system, and the cost of the roof, and take that out of the reserves, you're not gonna have £700,000. We'll only have that if Durham County Council board charges.
and I think we won't know that until after our the result, will it? Yeah. Oh, you thought about that, yeah. Absolutely, who's Angela?
Actually, just saying what you were saying.
Oh, right.
Because there's absolutely no way that the girls and surplus people I have, that's all they want to talk to people just don't know that. Very good on that. So having a discussion about real estate, absolutely fine. You can't really make any decisions, know how much we're gonna have to spend in this business.
Okay.
I think I just speak to the breeder, there's three.
Yes, yeah.
Have a conversation about it, have a proper.
Yeah.
Discussion around it, but obviously, there's no point let's discuss in the future if there isn't the will to discuss it in the future. If there is the will to discuss it in the future, that's what we need to establish.
Yeah.
And try and bring that in line when it comes to budgets.
Well, I think we'll have established that there's a will to do it. It's just to feed it into the budget setting when we get around to it. Okay, so is that okay? Okay. And moving on, oh well, participation. Billy, did you want to raise anything, or was that the item?
Sorry?
So, did you want to raise anything, or is that the item that we've just had?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Was that okay then? Was the answer okay?
Well, it wasn't, I would like to have heard more, but I understand that you've got to, what you've got to do.
Yeah.
But as long as, all I was wanting to say was it to be looked at.
Oh.
You know what I mean? That, I wouldn't say I'd have to look at it and do it now, I just want it looked at.
Okay.
Thanks for letting me say it.
Have to. Dave's trying to venue. Oh, sorry, Anne.
Just before we get to that, there's an item missing on the agenda.
Oh.
I'm afraid it's the County Durham Community Foundation fund. So you'll forward on a copy of the report, but for some reason it's been missed off the agenda. So it's just if anybody have any questions.
Yeah. Anyone got anything you want to read or you just want to? Yeah. Yeah, well. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Another reason has none for all. Which is already asked. But just really that council have to give delegation to manage the council being to make sure that we obviously move forward with what we're planning to do. Obviously the financial regulation, there's a certain amount that I can authorize. Finance manager. So make sure that we that's non financial rights. And we will update in September, but if you're on 16 and then I'm very happy to. Is everybody okay with that? Everyone? Next meeting Tuesday, the 26th of September, seems like a long way away, but it's not. 26th of September. In the Civic Hall. Maybe. Yeah. Sorry, we'll have to do exclusion of press and public now.